Well, everybody, let's now take a look at trying to get some better accuracy with playing stride piano. Now, I know little to nothing about how to play stride piano. I'm no expert at it by any means, but I've listened to a lot of stride piano players, a lot of the old great names from the old days like Fats Waller and Art Tatum, and more recent times Oscar Peterson and so on. And I love playing ragtime, I love playing stride piano, and of course stride piano or this kind of all-in-one band kind of sound that we get from the piano is really a really great style if you can master it. But the thing is, you've got to be quite good at hitting the right bass note and then jumping back to the chord and then moving along. So I'd like to say thanks to Sam for his question. And Sam, these are just some simple hints and tips in this short video that we're going to try and answer for you. So the first thing to understand is that the majority of the work is being done by this guy, the left hand. So I am normally looking a lot more at my left hand than I am at the right hand, which is doing the melody predominantly and probably filling in with chords and things. And in fact, if you watch a lot of players who play this kind of style, ragtime players, stride piano, jazz piano, whatever you want to call it, they're normally looking often this way as opposed to that way. So that would be my first tip. The best way to improve the accuracy of the left hand in stride piano is look at your left hand. So that means that, of course, we can't look at this guy over here, our right hand, but we can help ourselves out if we learn the melody of the song really well. So, for example, there we had Honeysuckle Rose. And did you notice that the right hand, excuse me, doesn't really move, does it? It's in one position. Okay, so if I now want to do this pattern, that's going to take a lot more looking at than this hand. So now look, as I play my stride piano, I'm keeping an eye on the left hand and just keeping the right hand in my peripheral vision. Now by coming down an octave, so I'm always looking with my eye line. This is the next tip. You've got to look where you're going. Just like when you're driving down the road, you don't look at your steering column or your feet. Some people probably do. But you're normally looking at where you're going. And it's the same with stride piano. You have to look at where your hand is going to. Bass note or chord. Okay, so we'll take it back just to bass and chord. So when I play my G there for the G minor, I just glance up, and well, we'll talk about this in a minute. It also forms the chord, but I'm looking with my eyes back and forth, and I'm looking at the next bass note before I play it. Then I'm looking back to the chord. So my eyes are kind of flicking very slowly back and forth like that. And makes me look like a crazy mad professor pianist. But then we get something like this. Listen. Okay, so my eye line is always looking at the bass note and then it's looking to the chord. And as soon as the chord is in position, I look at my next bass note, because I might be doing like a little counter melody sort of style like this. To get like a little melody going in the bass line, which of course is what the stride piano players were so good at. So a lot of songs from the era don't move around too much. You can sort of keep your hand in one area, okay? I've got enough peripheral vision to see what my hand is going. And providing I know that melody really well, I can divert more of my eye and possibly, there's not a lot to divert, brain resources, to the left hand, okay? So that's the two tips, okay? So first of all, make sure your right hand is very familiar with the melody and the song and what it's going to do. Okay, that still allows room for on-the-spot things. Then the second tip is to use your eyes to really follow the bass pattern. And when you start playing stride piano, I remember when I first started, I put my metronome on and I stuck it on 60 beats a minute. You guys can try this. And just like practicing scales, I used to sit there with my metronome and I used to go, and I played one every second. And I used to jump around, spend about 5 minutes a day doing that. Because if you can do it at 60, you'll be able to do it at 70. And what this is doing, this is teaching the brain the jump. And of course, as you know, as babies become children, they obviously learn to walk. And once they learn they can walk, they then know they can trot. And once they know they can trot, they can run. So that pattern is the same. So if I then sped it up, look, double the speed, my brain goes, oh yeah, we've done this. But literally my eyes are doing this. They're pinging back and forth. But if you notice, look, the finger slightly ahead of the chord because I need to look for that next note before I get there. The third tip I'll give Sam, and indeed everybody else, is make sure that your chord forms in the air before you get to the top. Okay? And what I mean by that is when you play a bass note, E flat, you're probably going to play an E flat 6 chord or E flat. Make sure the chord is shaped before you get there, look. See how I'm forming the chord? Look, I'll over-exaggerate it. Look, so I'm making the chord shape so I'm ready to land on it. So a bit of prepping there. So that's 3, I think, useful tips, but the only way really to get more accurate with stride piano is like anything. You just play it and practice it, and not until you get it right. You play it and practice it until you can't get it wrong. That's the thing. And this is what then happens when you do things like this. Hopefully, he says, not failing miserably. In this next example, one or two slips there, but hey ho. But you know, it's all about, you know, once you get really fast, you'll be able to hit those notes, you know, reasonably quick. But you have to know exactly where you're going. But it's all about practice. It's all about practice. So anyway, thanks ever so much to Sam Johnson for his question. If you're wondering how Sam managed to ask me personally a music video topic, well, that's because Sam is a patron of mine on Patreon.com. And if you search on Patreon.com for Keyboard Skills Pro, you'll find a page which is all about supporting my YouTube channel, because I give you these lessons completely free of charge. There's obviously lots of lights and cameras and software and all the time and effort that goes into making a video. And so lovely people like Sam support my channel, but Sam is actually a Platinum member. Woohoo! Platinum! And if you choose Gold or Platinum, you get the chance to email me and say, hey Tom, here are 3 in the case of Gold or 5 in the case of Platinum, video topics, questions, pieces that I'd like you to record. And this was one of Sam's questions. Thanks ever so much for watching, everybody. Please do hit that subscribe button, and we will see you soon here on Keyboard Skills Pro for another fun music video. You take care, folks. Enjoy improving that lovely stride piano with lots of eye looking, prepping the chord, and also knowing your melody hands to get that great sound. Thanks a lot, folks. Bye-bye.